So this next segment is about showing you the money. Do you want to see the money? You want to see the money? Well, we have our social currency known as BV and IBV. And these next presentations are about showing you the money. How to maximize your organizations, maximize your purchases so that you can get the most amount of incentive or internet business volume and BV flowing up the lines. Does that sound like something you want to know more about? I really want to know, does that sound like something you really want to know about? Really? Because we're going to bring in the stack factor, and I love this couple. From nowhere to something, now moving up to the next level. They're very close to hitting National Supervising Coordinator. They're $7,500 to $10,000 in a 4-week pay cycle, and they're managing their lives at the same time. So please help me welcome to the stage Sarah Rose and Ryan Stack.
You guys, don't you just love this company? Don't you just love it? The energy in this room is like unbelievable, and I needed this. I don't know about you, but I needed it. So thank you so much for, everybody, love the company, right? Woo!
Yeah, so let's get into it because we don't have too much time. Really, this segment is about how to maximize margins, how we can get the most amount for dollars you spend, which equals more money to you and your team faster. Isn't that smarter?
Yeah.
And it's a very different thing. You could spend $100, I could spend $100, you could earn more than me. Isn't that true?
It's true.
So you obviously want to earn more, correct? And that's what we're going to take you through as we go through this. I also want you to realize the timing of everything, I don't think could be more perfect. Would you agree that this is the year to pioneer? It really has been a pioneering, this was January, February of 2015.
Yep.
Right? This was JR saying we finally have it. And we're going to be really leading up to International. You guys, if you were at International, I thought this was really the birth of us now building with the shopping annuity for the first time, right? Great. And if you guys didn't see it, JR walked across the tightrope. You remember this?
It's amazing.
You see that in Times Square? You actually saw me in the wheelbarrow. This is not photoshopped. But you got to believe, and that's what it was. Are you going to do it? Are you in? I don't know what happened to my shoes. I just ditched my shoes. I don't know. So, anyways.
There's no help for you, Ryan.
So, what is the biggest industry in the world? Because that really is what this company capitalizes on. We're capitalizing on how everything is now shifting to an online model, and it's shifting to you and I being able to get part of the profits versus stores. Stores have always dominated that sector, keeping us consumers apart, but now when we unify, all of a sudden, now it's more profits back to the people. And that's what we do. And the largest industry in the world is if there's a way to monetize spending money, we figured it out. Isn't that what we have with the shopping annuity? So let's go over really what the difference is. And I want you to realize the importance of what you have right now. Don't take this for granted that, oh, this is just something that they added. This changes the game entirely. And I don't know if you saw, but 6,000 retail stores are closing their doors and trying to move to survive and moving to an online model.
Yep.
And they're trying to get consumer loyalty, which they won't get, but they will if it's awarding those consumers. That's exactly what we do. The world's going to move to our model. We've just been ahead this whole time. So with the shopping annuity, one partner today is really 10 partners of the past. You had to do 10 times the work for the last 20 years, 24 years.
But babe, that's if you're actually duplicating the shopping annuity. It's not just, hey, you can go out and recruit less and everything's going to be rainbows and lollipops. You actually have to duplicate the right stuff. And you have to redirect your spending in the most intelligent way. And that's what we're going to talk about right now.
Right. So this is what, you know, for the last 2 decades or so, a lot of people are building with. You come on board, you have an auto ship, you're doing a little bit of your part, right?
Right.
And if you wanted to earn anywhere between $700 and $1,500 a month, right? If everyone just did what they normally did, just did the requirements, you would need a total of 50 partners on the left and right to earn that type of
now
ongoing income.
This is people registering their business, saying they want to change their life. They want more time with their family, more time with their kids. They want to do this, that, and the other thing. yet all they want to do is transfer, buy, or auto ship. That's not a business, that's a club, right? And that's the thing though, if you build an organization, if that's what you're doing, that's what your people are gonna do, right? If that's all you're doing, people will do what you do, not what you say. And the fact is if you built an organization of 50 people on the left and the right just doing the minimums, that's not exciting. That's a whole lot of people to make not a lot of money, isn't that true? I mean, I don't know about you guys, recruiting was never my strength, and it's starting to become one of mine, but you know, I'd rather not have to recruit as much, teach people how to build a solid business so that they're making more money, and as a result, so are we, and it's easier.
And do you think those 100 people are excited to be in business?
No. This is a minimum mindset. This doesn't work. In the new market America, it takes 10 households to achieve that income instead of 100. What would you rather do? Honestly, would you rather go out and recruit 50 people on your left and 50 more on your right to all do auto ship and complain and have problems and not go to conference and not buy their own products and not use their own stuff and not earn commissions? Or would you rather get 5 on the left and 5 on the right?
And here's when you get this, right, when you get this, they're doing it anyways. Everyone's doing this anyways, and when you plug it into the system, now people are earning on what they've been doing. This is before you add a customer to the equation, by the way.
Exactly. This is personal use.
Where else does that happen? So here's what I want you to think. Get out of the mindset of, just like with minimum volume, with minimum recruiting. Listen, recruiting is a good word. Recruiting is what every business does to reach more people going through more points of distribution. Isn't that what franchises do?
Yes.
We just do it virtually with people and websites. Doesn't it make more sense to do it that way than open up big clunky stores all over the country? Mm-hmm. We're just doing it a better way. So here's what I want you to think of. Instead of, I'm going to find 2 in a build, and say if I could help 2 households spend less money than they do right now by finding better deals. You already saw that this morning. You'll see more of it. And then I'm going to help them get paid cash back, and then I'm going to help them build this annuity with the money they're already spending. And we're going to help 2 households per quarter do that. Save, spend less, and earn money on all of their spending. If you can think that way, 2 households per quarter, this is what it looks like. Quarter 1, you'll have 2 households. Quarter 2, 6. Quarter 3, 18. And by the end of 2016, you'll have 54 households on board doing the shopping annuity. But look what this generates. $42,000 to $6,000 monthly that would come in before there's a customer added to this numbers, just in what people have already done. The only thing we've done, instead of being separate consumers, we've now locked hands. Hey, baby. We've locked hands, and now all of that purchasing power rewards us. When JR always says that, purchasing power, people power, unifying our spending into one, that creates that income through our business. And how would you like, instead, we got to update some of these, manuals you guys have. The 2 to 3 year plan, I believe in the next 24 to 36 months will be, when you talk to someone, you're going to say, it's actually a 12 to 18 month plan. Yeah. What do you think about that?
But guys, it's not far off. The fact is that you talk to some of these field vice presidents, these field chairman galactic of the world, like Elizabeth or whatever your title is now, right? Because you keep hitting new levels every time, leading by example. They hit director in a year. And they hit director in a year for a very specific reason. It's because they were smart about it and they knew the concept of Business 101, and that applies now, today, more than ever. That's what we want to do. So we already told you to take the assessment. The assessment is like a college degree, which is like a hunting license. If you don't go out hunting, you're not going to catch anything. If you go and you get your degree, you don't go work in your career, you're not going to earn anything. And if you take the assessment and don't make any changes to your spending, the same thing is true, isn't it true? This is your degree, this is your roadmap, but you have to implement the changes. So what we want to talk to you about is how to get the most for your force multiplier. The first thing that we recommend everybody in the room learns how to do is how do you show the shopping annuity concept. There's 3 different ways that you can do this. You can do it yourself. There's also videos on shoppingannuity.com, and you can just click play, and that will show the concept for you. Or you can leverage NMTSS, an ISM trainer can show it for you. The second thing everybody needs to know how to do is how to conduct the assessment. So you either do that in a coring style or over the phone, or you can use the videos that we showed this morning, but you actually have to walk your people through the assessment. If you send them to the assessment, are they going to do it? No.
Nope.
It's just like if you send them anything. They're not going to do it unless you help them. So walk them through it. Be present. And the other thing, this is the thing I think a lot of us missed over the last years, we have to look for the highest margin to start converting our spending, because all spending is not created equally. If I redirect $100 of my money, I'm looking for how can I spend that $100 and get the most amount back for me and my team. Where other people, you're starting to change your habits, which is a great thing. That's progress, and progress is good. But you might be going to drugstore.com when you should be buying Snap. Or maybe you bought something at a partner store that offers 2% IBV when we have it in Marketplace, which offers 20%. So that's what we want to show you, because at the end of the day, it's not about your income, it's about the combined incomes of all of your team. And if everybody was going for the highest margins, that's an instant pay raise. So that's what we want to talk about.
I love this picture.
This is our younger son, Ethan. He's 8, and he is a shop.com fanatic. He literally has cried when people, your mom told him that she went to the A word, and he was like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? You gotta go to shop.com. So anyway, get your household on board.
By the way, some households, one person's building, the other person's just supporting, or a negative spouse, whatever, but they'll come on board eventually.
Yeah.
You have to get them just saying, hey, listen, this is a one area we have to agree on that.
Yeah.
We're going to spend money, and right now it's just going to stores. Can we agree that it goes through our business? Let me help you, whatever it is, because that's where you leak half your income.
Yeah, if you have a spouse or kids or other people in your house that don't understand why it's important to redirect the spending, now it's just you. And you could be doing 100%, but you have to get everybody on board. So you know what we do with our kids? They have their own cash back accounts. So we incentivize them. Hey, if you need sports stuff or clothes or toys or whatever you need, if you go through the website, whatever you earn is yours. And that is just a nice little way to incentivize. So
we're crazy about this. Jordan was calling from the bathroom needing help because something ran out, right? And so instead of I just threw him an iPad. I'll say, hang tight, I'll be right back. And I picked up a Target order for toilet paper. He had to wait. You may want to plan ahead, but I'm talking about, we're that crazy. You know what I mean?
All right, so we're going to get into the meat and potatoes. You want to focus on the highest margins, I promise you. Would you rather get 2% of your 20 grand that you're redirecting, or 80? So you're going to start with BV first. You want to know why people hit director in a year? Because of BV. Because they came in with 1,000 BV, and they were not the traders to their own business. They bought everything from themselves, and they bought BV products. So you have to start with BV, and don't think you're only killing the shopping annuity if you're doing partner stores. It starts with BV. So 80% BV on average, you're getting cash back, and you get the absolute best price because it's our products. So we get the best price, we get the best product, we get cash back, and the highest return on investment. Second, for everything else, you're going to go to shop.com direct, marketplace, groceries, etc. That's 20% return IBV, cash back, and you're going to get a better price because we have a better relationship with those stores. And thirdly, you're going to go to other IBV partner stores. But most of you are doing this backwards. Most of you are starting with IBV partner stores at 1% and 2%, and then sometimes you dabble in direct, and other times you're like, maybe I should get a BV product. Well, if you reversed that thinking and you duplicated that, wouldn't you make more money? Wouldn't we all make more money? Understand the hierarchy, and that's what, that's what all of you guys did. That's why you're sitting where you're sitting. And I want to do what you did because I want to make the money that you make. You know?
How many people think you're going to get rich when you get a notification that says, congratulations, you have 0.00076 IBV to place? Woo!
Yeah.
Tell my team.
So we're going to go through these examples quickly, but I'm going to start with BV, okay, babe?
Yeah,
so
all right.
BV,
all right.
Here's the thing. You have to learn where we have products that you could replace with. The partner stores Target, they offer 1% IBV, woohoo, or 0.35 IBV on 4 bags of Starbucks for $35.96. If you switch to Marley Coffee, and you bought the same 4 bags, same amount of coffee, you spent less money, you got 50% BV or 16 BV. Do you get it? I spent $32 and got 16 BV. You spent $35 and got 0.35 of 1 IBV.
Guys, these are all real examples. We took them off at stores everyone shops at, and we just pulled the real price. This is no-brainer stuff. This is how you get your team paid faster.
Okay, look at this one, Purex, $6.99 or 21 cents a load. Drugstore.com's a great store. So if we can't get something direct, I'll go there. I love that store. 4% IBV or 0.27, really exciting. Or Snap, you can get 65% BV. Again, which do you prefer?
By the way, that's the point where people go, oh, but it's cheaper. It's not.
It's actually not even cheaper. It's more expensive
It's like the
and you
marketing
get less
gimmick,
return.
for the last 20 years or so.
Okay, and then you got Clinique. Okay, $16.95, 4% from Sephora, or buy a better product, get Motives, and you're gonna earn 83% BV on that. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? You spend less money, you make more money.
Please start here. Shop direct. Marketplace, office supplies, groceries. This is where you're going to get the most amount, and it's instant. You buy it, and it shows up immediately the next day.
Yeah. So this is like a gaming headset that our 11-year-old son wanted, and we were looking it up on shop.com, and we found a partner store that offered 5% IBV, which is not too bad, right? They were selling that product for $48.99. So guess what? Marketplace or Shop Direct had the same product for $10 cheaper and 15% IBV. So now I'm saying this is mind-blowing stuff. Shop Direct is amazing. For everything else that you're not gonna go BV for, you have to go direct. You're gonna get so much more back for it.
Printer paper, same deal, $6.99, 1% IBV. At Walmart, if you go direct office, it's $1 cheaper, 20% IBV for that same purchase. You're earning money faster. Shop groceries is one of my favorite. What is this, gluten-free?
Gluten-free pasta, $36 for 6. The exact same product was cheaper by $10, and you got 15% IBV. So if there's one thing you can get your organization to be aware of is number 1, BV, number 2, direct. It's $5.99 shipping for groceries, by the way, no matter how much you order.
If everyone in here converted $100 a week to buy in bulk through your own store, it would generate 60 IBV for every single person in this room in 1 month.
In 1 month.
Money you're already spending.
It's crazy.
By the way, when they go one day, IBV is going to be, it's already here. You just haven't figured out how to do it yet. It's here. And we're going to give a lot during the breakout, too, which is tomorrow night.
It's tomorrow night. And for everything else, guys, what's number 1? What's number 2? Direct.
Direct.
Great. So for everything else, yeah, go to a partner store. Try out Box. Try out every other store that's going to offer you. And by the way, if you do that, we'll get more IBV. We'll get more cash back because we combine our spending. But the fact is it's BV first, direct second, everything else third. You have to make sure that you're following that in the right order.
Real quick tip, if you want to go to stores, the store tab, you then click on IBV. It's going to reshuffle the highest IBV stores to the lowest. Start there and don't go below 10%. Spend your time there. You get paid faster. It starts with you.
Yeah.
You got to make the switch. You have to be. When someone walks in your house, it's got to be Snap everywhere, Royal Spa. They got to see everything out there. If they don't see it, they know you're not doing it.
Two more things. One more time. What is the number 1 place you're going to redirect? What's the number 2?
Direct.
And what's number 3?
Partner stores.
Thank you. You guys don't understand this business is the most accessible business for every single person, regardless of anything, money, circumstances, or whatever. And I don't know about you guys, but the fact that I can actually duplicate this, and we met a guy at the booth today, Fabian, totally inspirational. What do you do if it's hard? You get creative. Isn't it interesting? You can start this business off with $28,000 a year income, but if you build the business, guess what? You're getting paid on the incomes of everybody on your organization, aren't you? You just grew your income a lot. And if you teach people in your organization to go for the highest margins, now it's worth even more. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you at the breakout.
Thank you so much.
Have you ever had one of those reverse kind of new partners? Whatever you said, they did something different? Remember that's a fixed mindset. They always know better than you know. That's just how it is. And that's what we're hearing. But, always BV first. How about this? 1 cart partners, direct partners second. Remember that. And then finally, third, you can go to your partner stores. And remember, everyone that makes it to the shopping annuity, to the numbers, that means your senior partners can place volume in your organization to help you grow faster your commission checks. So that's important to think about. This next young lady, she's in her 23rd year of building her unfranchised business. She's a field vice president earning $36,000 to $45,000 in a 4-week pay cycle. I love her. She's from my hometown of Pittsburgh, and she has just really got this going down. She's going to talk to you about how she's been recruiting and building success stories within her organization. Please help me welcome to the stage Miss Arlene Lowy.
We're going to talk about my favorite product, which is the social annuity. And it's the process of what I do, whether I am showing it to someone for them, whether I'm doing it for myself, or whether I'm doing it online. So let's start with the home shopping list. If you are in person, it's critical to use this to do the business. This in itself, when you sit there and you say to them, look, all I want you to do is fill out everything you use, don't tell them anything beyond that, then I count all of them up and I circle. In other words, like I had a woman the other day, 95 products she would use. And I just circle 95 and I just put it aside. My next comment to her is, by the way, where do you shop? She says, well, Amazon. I said, when did they start giving cash back? She looks at me, she says, they don't give cash back. I said, what'd they give you? She says, free shipping. I said, they don't give you free shipping. You paid Prime. I said, let me tell you something. I want to show you something today. Educate you where the world's going with this. I said, let's go up to Amazon. So I go up to Amazon, and I look at the front page, and I go, wow, look at all these people advertising. Nikon cameras, Delta faucets, you name it. And that's very interesting. Do you have any idea how much money these companies pay to be on the front page of Amazon? So that all the people with the eyeballs are going to possibly look at it and say, okay, I'm going to buy a Nikon camera, I'm going to buy whatever. The difference is, Amazon takes that money and puts it in his pocket, and that's why it's worth $37 billion. They give you nothing. They take your money, it goes into their cash register, your money's gone. Today I'm going to show you how to get paid an investment on your money and work smarter. I'm also going to show you someone who created a company and created a project that's beyond Amazon. It's called Giving Back. And this fella gave a project that's going to allow you to spend your money and get paid on it. So as I said, when I show them Amazon and I say, where did you start? Pay your cash back, free shipping, get nothing. So I talk about the average income. The average income in this country is like $56,000. Average family spends $51,100. Just think about that. Every single person you know, if you redirected the money of $18,750 or more, and could be redirected to shop.com, your shopping portal, and create a shopping annuity by converting your spending into earning, would that make sense? If every single one of you did it for yourself first and then taught it to everybody in your organization, the shopping annuity bonus pool would be nothing to hit. Now the income, and we talked about this. We talked about the average income. We talked about the total expenditures. You all buy paper towels. You all buy all these combinations that Carl Eklund said. The difference is you're going to build a business. So now we're going to redirect the $18,750, and we're going to convert your spending into earning, and we're going to do the assessment so that you know where you're at, and we're going to track the shopping annuity, and more importantly, what does this company do? This is amazing. It tracks and captures all of your purchases from all the stores, brands, and merchants. And when you or anyone else leads directly or indirectly to this site, it now credits you in a form of social currency called BV and IBV. What you guys have to get today is what BV is all about. You need to buy from our stores and quit walking out, put handcuffs on yourself, and quit walking outside and going and throwing your money away when you have a business where you can actually get paid. That currency calculates, and when it reaches certain thresholds, we earn income in the managed performance compensation plan. Why would you steal from yourself? I'd go in, I'd show them the shop.com site. Let me show you what I do. It's hysterical. I open up the shop.com site, I go to my account. I go down to my account, I log in every single time so they make sure they know I'm shopping. And when I log in, I come down to cashback. I open up my cashback and I go, $659 I got back from this company this year. What did you get back when you went to Amazon? 0. Okay? I go to refer a friend. What site does Amazon let you refer your friend and then get a 0.5% of everything they spend? No, he keeps on putting it in his pocket, guys. Come on, get this. E-gifts. We have technology that nobody has. You can go in there and you can choose exactly what you want to give someone so that they offer them what they want and they choose what they want. Instead of sending them something with the wrong color, the wrong size, you haven't seen them for so long and you forgot they gained 50 pounds. Comparative shopping, nobody has it. I don't have to go sit in traffic. I don't have to decide that I'm going to go up to Google, I'm going to Google what I want, and one store is going to come up and it's going to say, go to Walmart and save $100 on the flat screen. I can go into my shopping, and by the way, all the time I'm doing this, I'm never dressed. Nobody knows. They can't see me, except when I go to Panera's and have to show it live. But guess what? I go into comparative shopping, I put the flat screen that I want, I come down, and it shows me 5 stores. I go into the 5 stores, and I go, my God. And this is what happened. I'm with my daughter-in-law, and she says, I want an elliptical. She says, I'm going to go to overstock.com on shop.com. I said, why would you go there? She said, because it's overstocked. That means it's better pricing. I said, hey, you don't have any idea. So we go into Overstock. She sees what she wants. I go back into the shopping annuity. I go back on the search bar. I put exactly what I want. I said, look, I'm paying for it. You're going to pay $3.95 or I'm going to pay $1.99. You got to be kidding me. And I'm going to get cash back? And because I'm a business owner and you haven't figured it out yet, I'm going to get paid for bringing you there. Because the advertising dollars have changed totally in this world, and we'll talk about that. Stores, I get to go into stores. I get to go to box.com, that's like going to Costco. I go into jet.com, it's like going to Costco. I don't walk into Costco and buy anything except fruits and vegetables. Everything I always buy from my wardle. Why would I ever rob from my store? Walmart doesn't go to Kmart to buy stuff. You stay inside shop.com and you start becoming a product, the product. Let's go, guys. You got to do it. I'm not going to leave here in 3 days unless you do it. I'm going to handcuff you to the seats until you get it. And here we go. I'm so glad to see you back, guys. David and Stacy Whita. Okay? Price alert. I can actually go in with specific stores and I can actually tell them what I want to spend, and they'll get 60 days, they're going to tell me that it came down in pricing. And guess what? The Shop It Buddy, oh my God, that's the most exciting thing. I was showing this woman the other day, and I said, you go to Amazon and you lose money. He takes money out of your pocket, he doesn't give me anything back. And I said, and by the way, join my site, because now when you go to Amazon, Shop Buddy shows up, which is another thing that we have in technology, and we'll tell you it's cheap at our site, and save you money, and you get cash back. So, at that point, I also show the product brokerage something. Remember that shopping sheet? I filled it out. I said, your 65 items you want. Now, let me ask you a question. At this stage, would you like to buy these products at wholesale? We've got better products than most. Buy them at wholesale and get paid to use them? I said, you're not really going to get that, but I will tell you one thing. On the comparative shopping, you see, you get cash back, I get IBV. That's the currency for me bringing you there, because I treat it like a business that I'm getting cash back, and I'm also getting paid on the back end. At that point, after I do that, I absolutely look at them and I say, my question to you is, do you want to just save money, or would you like to make money? Because I say it the whole time, save money, make money. Save money, make money. And if their ears are, and the wax is out of their ears, they say, I want to make money. And that's when Big Al Yench, where are you? What a godsend. He put together a sheet, a comparative sheet that absolutely, if I only use this sheet, I don't need anything else because it shows what people are doing in their lives and it shows the structure of multi-level marketing, corporations, mortgage companies, real estate, and guess what? The United States Congress to the left. And then on the right, it shows a brilliant marketing plan that's unbelievable. And I show them all these combinations of all these things that they could have. And I say, look, you're sitting here. This is a 45-year plan. You're sitting here. And by the way, this sheet will get out to you. But the first row on the sheet is multi-level marketing. Boy, am I going to have fun with that game today. And on the first row, I'm thinking, why don't you take every single person that you go to work with and put them in the first line work? And I'm going to ask you a question. When you go to work, what do? Smile and say hello? Do you get anything beyond saying hello? Do you get a piece of everything? So when the girl says, I'm a waitress, and all these people are waiting on tables, I said, do you get a piece of their commission? I said, no, the guy who owns the company. You don't get anything, you just smile. Now I'm going to take these people's faces, because that's where they work, and I take the left and the right side, and I said, you only need 2 business partners to start. I graphically put all the faces and the pay and their names there. And I said, now, let me show you something that works. Which side do you want to be on? By the time I'm done with the right side and the left side of the comparison, I say, which side do you want to go on? They said, I want to be on the right side. I said, well, one more thing. Let me see how much you know about our #1 selling product. Out comes my OPC survey. I survey and find out everything that's wrong with them, because you can't see it. I find out how many people they know that have things wrong with them, because that's going to be their possibility list of the top first 10 customers that I'm going to get before they're even in the business. And I'm going to send them home with information and say, by the way, I'm going to show you the plan in 2 days. And before you do that, I'd like you to review this information. Bring that with you, because I'm going to retail to recruit. One way or the other, I'm going to get them a preferred customer, I'm going to get them on the product, or I'm going to get them in the business. So, that's booking the follow-up, and this changing the way the world shops and converting your spending into earning. Now, very quickly, I want to share something that's very, very important to me. It's an important subject. I've been very, very close working with the corporation and the corporate people. And we're a very, very close team because we always, as the advisory board, always stay in touch with everybody to find out what's going on. To make a long story short, I want to share a story with you. And I want you to understand, if you're someone who's in this company that's never been in this industry and is making a lot of money this time, listen carefully. If you're someone who just loves this and gets so excited, but your actions haven't caught up with your feelings, you haven't gone to work yet, listen to this. And if for goodness sake you're someone here that's never seen this, someone who's looking at this to evaluate this, let me tell you the truth about this industry. I've been in network marketing for 35 years, and for the first 12 years, I was in something called multi-level marketing, MLM, making little money or making lots of money. I will tell you that I went into a company called Clearbrook. It was water filters. It was drinking water at your tap. I don't know. I never did that kind of stuff, but I was excited, and I said, oh, this is great, because I thought, wow, I could get up, I could build relationships, I could have fun. It really made sense to me coming from the teaching world and the corporate world where I was highly underpaid. And 2 years later, I get a phone call, and they said, company's closing. It's going into the graveyard. It's over. I said, oh, team, this is great. What's this business all about? This fellow I met named Johnny Soler, one of my mentors, said to me, well, let's go to this other company. I had no idea what it was out of Canada. And when I was in Canada, he says to me, look, we're going to sell this product, and it's a weight control product, and you'll love it. I said, do me a favor. I want you to teach me this business. You've made millions of dollars. He said, well, let me tell you something. There's a golden rule of this business. I said, what's the golden rule? He says, well, you're going to build a family. You're going to build a family of people that come from you and come from so many other people. don't ever violate them. I said, what do you mean violate them? He says, well, number one, while you're building your business and teaching them, don't ever tell them about another product from another company, because that's a no-no. Number two, don't ever leave this company because you choose to leave this company and then go into your family and take away and steal everybody else's dream. I said, okay, that makes sense to me because, I want to protect them. So 5 years we're building the business. He's teaching me everything. We're really, really going at it. And all of a sudden, my income starts changing. I'm making $60,000 a month. I'm the #1 person in the United States, Canada, built 25,000 people as a single mom. And all of a sudden, I see my income trickling. I'm going, what is going on? Well, there's apparently someone who's not happy with the guy who owns the corporation, and he's a high pin level also in the United States, and he decides to leave our company, and he decides to start going in and raiding everybody's organization and telling everybody about something else that's special, another marketing plan, whatever, and starts recruiting people from other people's organization when this was his family. And I go, you gotta be kidding me. What's this all about? Then I see my income even plummeting even more. And I go up to Canada and I say to the president of the company, I said, what are you doing? How can my income go from 60,000 to 40,000? You got a guy in the United States market flowing around, and what the heck are you doing? So I go and study my organizational downline, and we find out every 3 levels he's taking the income away from me. And he says, look, I own this company, I can do whatever I want to do. And by the way, you're terminated. After 5 years in building that kind of income, single mom, I lost everything. And guess what? In the US market, it went down. It was out. At that point, what was I going to do? Frank Kiefer was also in that company. He got terminated. That's how I met Frank Kiefer. And from there, I ended up in another company in the Florida Panhandle. I was #1 in that company, making $25,000 a month. Norm Roth was also in that company, but he was not in my downline, so nobody cross-sponsored, nobody helped anybody, no cross-training, no nothing. All separate lanes, everybody does their own thing. And all of a sudden, Frank decides he's going to leave. And I said, what's going on? He goes, nah, I got to leave. So we stayed in touch, and we're friends. And I don't know, he got into something else, but we never discussed it because he knew the rule of thumb that I taught him is don't tell me about another product in another company while I'm in a company and I have a family that I got to protect, because I'm not going to leave to ever go to another company when I have my company that's solid. I learned that. And you want to know something? 3 years later, that guy lost credit card ability, went to cash, and you know what happened? That company went in the graveyard. So three in a succession graveyards. At that point, he calls me up and he says, look, I need you to look at something else. I said, you kidding me? I'm going to look at something else. No, this is something very unique. Marty Weissman was on the phone trying to bribe me and get into this business. I said, I don't know. He comes to Pittsburgh. He shows me this business on a napkin. I don't get it. I'm used to multi-level marketing, going wide and building deep. I was very good at it. I did well, but I did it full time. I didn't have a life. And there were 5 of us in the company always making money, and nobody else was making money. You want to know something? He asked me to take 6 people or 7 people I knew to start this business. And I said, well, I'll learn how to do it. I invited 6 people. Not one of them was in another network marketing program. Not one of them was in anybody's existing organization. I knew that these were free agents and I would never hurt anybody else coming from something else. At that point, wait a minute, we go to Howard Johnson's and Tony and Pam Bowling are there because I hit executive coordinator the first day, and hear me out, I spent $2,000 and so did everybody else to come into this business with one product line. And Tony and Pam Bowling, God bless you. Because the first day you saw me, I'd do the executive coordinator test. It was an open book, and I didn't know what the heck that was an open book about. But I remember her saying, 6,000, 6,000. That's all I remember, and build this thing. And then Frank Kiefer, God bless him. He's an amazing. And Frank Kiefer He was there for me. He never stole my dream from the other company. He was waiting for that company to fail because I hadn't realized that that man was stopping his paycheck and stealing his paycheck, and then I learned it thereafter. I came into Market America. I hit executive coordinator the first day, and then he flew to Wisconsin, and I asked him to go see Norm Roth, and see if he was doing anything, and he wasn't, but he's the hardest sell in the whole world, and he didn't want anything to do with this. He finally did come in, and I said, look, let's just work this thing. Today, he and his wife are executive field vice presidents. They passed me up and secure me in the plan, thank God. Okay? From there, Larry Headings from Research, California, cousin, a director. I worked him 45 days. Then Paul and Teresa Carney, amazing, amazing, amazing talent from state of Oregon. And Lana and Ken Albrecht, directors that they created, and so many powerful, powerful people. I have 12 people in the Millionaires Club. Every one of them is someone who didn't make $100,000. From this amazing, amazing Norm Roth started this crusade. We have huge amounts. And then we have Barb and Fred Boltz, whose husband was actually Norm's boss. $15,000 a month. It's amazing what you build here. These people have been with me for 21 years, and they're not going anywhere, and they're staying here. 5 years later, I'm in the Market America. We're building and building and building, and I decided to go to another leg and build it. And we start building and building and building, and all of a sudden, I get this phone call. And I said, what's going on? She says, well, Clanice is telling us all about this tax deal. I call her up. I said, what are you doing? You never, ever, ever read your contracts, guys. Read the back of your contracts. It says never, ever share another product with someone else and sidetrack them. Because guess what? All the people in your family are not people you brought to the table, and you don't dare you to mess with other people's lives. And let me tell you something. She got everybody sidetracked. Nobody knew what they were doing. And a year later, I lost the whole leg and lost $109,000. And that company is in the graveyard. And where are we? So the method to my madness is this. I've been here a long time. And why is Market America so, so different than anything I've ever done? Number one, you've got a corporate team that I don't know when they sleep, but they sure text me at 3:30 in the morning. They're working endlessly all day, traveling all over the world, and building the business still. God bless JR and Lauren for this company. You have Dennis Franks. And Dennis Franks, Mr. Energy, one again, another person who absolutely never stops. And thank God for Izzy, his new granddaughter, and his new home in Malibu that he has some downtime. Thank God for Izzy. She's crawling all over him when he sings. And we have Kevin Buckman, who worked relentlessly, unbelievable to build this company. And Marty Weissman, the negotiator. And Steve Ashley, and Mark Ashley, and Joe Boyer, when they were actually packaging everything in the back room. I mean, honest to God, the most incredible people that I have met in my family and that your family. And these people, this is 100 years corporate experience and no turnover. This is a solid company. It's not going anywhere but here. And then recently, I got to work with the IT department because I saw some things that I wanted to enhance. And you'll see some of these enhancements that we're doing with the social annuity. And I got to work with Eugene Wallace, talent beyond. And now Eddie Alberti, the 24/7 guy, I mean, he's unbelievable. And just incredible people behind this company. What can I say? And then you've got a plan, guys, listen carefully. Every multi-level marketing business out there is a 30-day plan. Try doing it in 30 days. The average person's in these businesses 3 months, and then they're gone, and they're gone, and they try again. You know something? Think about what this gentleman did. He took every negative out of multi-level marketing and created a company where people are going to build and build and build. And let me tell you something. The fact that volumes accumulate for 365 days and you can still go at a snail's pace, God bless you. The fact that we have as I said, a 30-day, we don't have a 30-day plan. It's mostly, we have a weekly plan. And this is what you need to understand. 99% of you would not make the money that you're making today if it wasn't for the National Meeting Training Seminar System. Don't ever tell me that Frank Kiefer and Gingy didn't put anybody underneath me. They've been traveling all over the world for the last 23 years, and every time he stood on stage, someone else came into my organization because of what he did. Every single trainer, there's 200 of them, thank all of them. Crossline is working your business, and every time these open meetings are building your business. It's never been done in network marketing. It never will be done in there's no multi-level marketing business in this entire world that will ever do it. And let me say something to you. This company is real. It's got all the mechanics that make it so solid. There's, as Dorothy says, there's no place like home. So I want to close, and I want you to understand something. It's 2016. Walmart's closing 265 stores. They're closing all the small stores. That they went into these small towns all over the world and closed everybody's business that was a mom and pop store. And now they're going to close them down and close all those people's incomes. And all those people are going to lose their job. I want you guys to say, and I want you to listen. I want you to understand, this is 2016. This is the year we're going to take this company to $1 billion vault. And I'm going to tell you how we're going to do this. You take it from your heart and start talking to every single person about how they can save money and quit spending money and throwing it out. That's your commitment to throwing this company into the $1 billion vault. Number 2, protect your family. Protect your family and don't ever violate them. And then I want to hear you all say right now to me, I am a person. Have you ever read Joel Osteen? I am a person who has integrity. Thank you very much.